If you're watching this at a future date on YouTube, this is a Casual Boots Link to the Past ladder race from May 8th in 2026. Don't at me. We're using the new tracker here. I don't know why the 3 on Eastern is gold. Oh, we got this. Who? We're immediately opening up with that. That's troubling. We take those. Like Quake? It's almost weird after playing so many Archipelago seeds to have a seed that is, I don't know, normalish. Had to be somewhere. Get the hidden. Just get the hidden. All these stores advertising, hey, look how cheap chicken is. To be fair, they're not wrong. You gotta think about the advertising of chicken compared to, usually they're talking about steak, they're talking about ribs, and yep. Chicken, everybody. rocks. Hmm. Slow to slash. Are they just in a null group? It just hit me why the tracker is so small. We're just gonna have to play this. Shield! It's not going to get fixed during the race. And that's just going to be how it is. We'll have that. Good, good, good. I want those. It's money, don't need that. I do want bombs. Fred. Cool. Like bottles. Dang. We'll take the bow. Easter not officially in logic because of the lamp. But it might as well be in logic. Especially with that fire rod. Net. $50. Misclick. Fred. less than a week since I accidentally soft locked in here trying to pick up chickens and goof around, so. Yo. I'll take the money, actually. The way the seed's going. Don't need it. I was like waiting to need it though. Nice. So I think general strategy is you wait on Eastern as long as you can. But you know you'll clear it out when you're in there. Is there anything else we can do right now, though? I mean, we gotta do South Shore. Money. Yo. I'm definitely gonna go back to get that cashed in. Need that. Alright, so that's a good pile of stuff. That gets us up on Death Mountain. It doesn't really do anything on Death Mountain, though. that back. Where are we going? Hi. I'm coming up here, but I think the actual answer to the question is Saha's house. Hera has green. Yo. Can't completely do Aga yet. Is there a place you can go to learn to set up Link to the Past randomizer? Yes. I'm trying to figure out what that place is. Because realistically, there will be a forum or a web page or a Discord or something that you just hop into and you say, hey, how do I set this thing up? And they will tell you how to set it up. And we know that one of the next chests has to be the key. And it's not that hard to set up, but it does need to be set up. What's the C? It's a crystal. The big key. We like that. That's gonna get us on to Death Mountain. That's the most trouble I've ever had getting into this room. Don't lose cape. So, well, no, we already had access to the tower because we have the Master Sword. That skip's a fun skip. Like, the randomizer's fun. I'll always advocate play the original game as well, because there's a lot of these little things that you can do in that. Dang. Bichette with the long fly up. It doesn't have to be a good run, right? You just have to be able to beat the video game. Yo. Now hang on a second. I guess that's so weird. I guess the game would then expect me to come back in with the lamp after. So logically, I have to kill Armos to get to the cape. Logically, you need the lamp for that room, unless logic is different now. I have a lamp. This takes a long time to do. Maybe this isn't a good idea. That's the case for going out of logic. For when logic makes you do like double back for something that you could just get if you know what you're doing. Not even like using a real glitch there, it's just going in the dark and knowing how the room works. Magic powder. Potentially required. It opens a check. I'm apparently going to this cave to see what it is. There's a lot of really dumb things. Laser Bridge is another one. The other thing is that if you go to things out of logic, sometimes you figure out what the game thinks you're going to do. Fairy in a bottle. We don't need it. It's a nice to have. That's a piece of a heart. That's a nice to have. We don't have a mirror. So that is a one-way trip if we decide to go to the Dark World. Yes, Laser Bridge, logic. First of all, you have... Okay. We're talking, for one thing, about the actual room, right? Obviously, you need to have enough keys to get in there and all that other stuff for Turtle Rock. For at least a normal logical seed. Entrance randomizer, you might be able to get in the back door, and that's a whole nother story. But logically, much like the base game, the game expects you to have the mirror shield at that point. So your logical requirement for Laser Bridge is quote-unquote an invincibility item. So the cape, the blue cane, or the mirror shield. Now realistically, everybody knows how to dance around those lasers. I think that's my sword, unless this is some weird thing. What is that 20? Why was there a green 20? I thought this was casual. Maybe those was that the boots themselves. That's the only thing that could be. Bombs. And we do not have a hammer. What is in logic after this? Because I don't have the map segment open. The only other thing in logic is Zora. And Agana. Zora and Agana. We've gotten everything else that's actually in logic. trying to think what's even out of logic. We'd have to be going to, like, the, my out of logic items are only the hobo. Bombos. So where? I have the lamp. Ag is in logic. Ag is in logic. Agaseed. So at this point, the fear would be that whatever the hobo has, or any of the other out of logic things that I can get. I'm trying to think what those even are. So I don't think there's a lot. Zora's in logic, honestly. If Zora or the hobo have the mitts or the hammer, then this is a giant waste of time because I could just get to the Dark World without it. We also know that the tree has just 5 rupees. Not worth getting. But at the moment, this is our path forward because we have no other way into the Dark World. We actually need this because without the keys being shuffled between dungeons, that is the small key. There's 2 chests in the castle tower, and they're both small keys if keys aren't shuffled between dungeons. Bum, 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 bum. Now we're just dealing with the left, this controller being left tappy. I don't know what my stun prize is yet, and we should really figure that out. Arrows. I'm seeing more of these taco plates. These are the ones that we have. Love them. They're not that hard to get set up. You just need to look in the right place. Alright, how many blue balls? Only 1. Good. Bad. I mean, the good news is I believe the minimum pattern to defeat Aga is the same across seeds. Well, across the identical seeds. It's only after that that you get into RNG. Because they're gonna make you fight Aga. But if you're once you are fighting Aga, they want everybody to need the same amount of time. What is my goal? That makes sense. I'm so not used to seeing a 20 rupee. That was a little worrisome. There's a high probability I should be going to Catfish. Again, what does this give us? Well, actually, yeah, we should really be going that way. Hookshot gives us access to the other side of Dark World. It's one of those things that you never really think about, and in the vanilla game you never need. Because nobody goes that way, right? You actually can beat the game. Well, no, you can't. You can't. You have to go back between the worlds. Because you have to go to Mire, you have to trigger Swamp. I'm not sure I've ever gone around that button without pressing it. This is pendant. The P is up there already. Cool. I actually can't progress past this point. I don't have a hammer yet. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Without the hammer, we must progress in this direction. I'm not forgetting the item that's down that pit. That at least solves a problem. We've gotten what? That's the first time I actually looked, by the way, and noticed. That one. We got a big key. We still have a hammer, though. So, logic says I need 4 keys to get in here. Not 5. everything that's left then? Well, no, there's keys. This may very well just be a small key. No, it's money. No, I do need to... I'm trying to think. I think it has to be a small key. Actually, yeah. This is a small key. And then that's a small key. And then Harmless Hellway is a small key. The last item is on Helmasaur. There's no other place it can be because I have to be able to reach Helmasaur. So nothing else can have an item. I got a shovel. What else do we have? Shovel Dash is pretty funny, honestly. We don't have a mirror, so even if I go to Catfish, he's never gonna do it. People will like say like this is here because of a design decision that was maybe you don't need to ever actually leave the Dark World. It's right here, by the way. Oh, let's go this way. Well, no, we'll do Catfish. This Catfish is one of those things that could potentially have like the exact thing you need. But yeah, Catfish is either a waste of a minute or the thing that breaks open logic. You know, just like every other check in this game. I like armor. It took forever to actually figure out where on X to click. I have legit 1 raises because I had armor, so we'll just run with it, quite literally. So this is one of those seeds where you have to know to do that. Because the only other thing again to do is talk to Zora. Maybe I should be talking to Zora. But this is getting towards this. So what is this? It's a heart. Okay. The cape was worthless. That rough. I mean, like I said, you have to know about that hookshot thing. That's just because when you end up in a seed like this, where you're like, well, where do I go now? And you're out of ideas. That is like the little secret. Oh yeah, by the way, that's valid. Especially because our only Dark World access is Aga. And then we have a hookshot so we can get around to here. We can't complete Palace of Darkness without the hammer, which we still don't have. We have the medallions, though, which is interesting. Because it means whichever... It doesn't matter anymore what medallion opens which dungeon. You can get in. This says crystal. I'm not even thinking to, like, check the map. And we also know that pod is a pendant. So whatever it is that Helma has, that's the only thing left in there. Is chess game guaranteed? Yes. Chess game is guaranteed. Shovel game is a random number, but I don't think it's ever, like, missable. Z-SNES. I'm not even sure if Z-SNES is valid. This is SNES 9X. Most of the sources of the randomizer will tell you like what the valid speedrunner, what the valid emulators are. There is something called MSU1 that you'll want to check the box on a few times. Honestly, I need to update my emulators. MSU1 is the reason right now you're listening to the remix of Mega Man V instead of any Link to the Past music. BizHawk itself is probably allowed. Then, though, I remember how this game works, seriously. We get into, like, BizHawk has different cores. So, like, BizHawk itself might be accepted, but you need the correct core still. And I don't know what the answers to that are. I actually don't know what the answers to that one are. Other ones I might be being cagey on because I don't know what everybody is. I mean, going to a Discord and asking somebody there where to go is still actually probably the legitimate answer. No, I hear you, Glacier. I hear you. I don't specifically think anybody is either. I'm just with luck favors the prepared. Now, here's the problem. One of these two chests may very well be a small key. I mean, I forget where the other one was. I must have gotten like a pile of money and just not even thought about it. Blind. Gardeners like to spring into action. Flippers. Hey, remember when I was talking about Hobo earlier? The odds of the Hobo being important just shot up dramatically. Swamp, not swamp. What is this place? Skullwoods has a bad habit of having a good item in it. Doesn't always, but it often does. Okay, I gotta remember that this is this category. It's like the odds of use big key. I guess have done the bomb jump pretty easily here. Yeah, it's because in the vanilla game you never go into these rooms. Like you could, but there's no reason to. It's long and slow to go into that room, and there's only one other item in this place. It's not exactly far away either. Wait till you see the basement of Ganon's tower. We're gonna go and fight the moth, and then worry about what that item is. Being a little careful here, because the moth is annoying. Some people know this if they run the game. If the moth gets knocked into spikes, unlike every other enemy in this game, the moth does not take damage if they hit spikes. Every other enemy starts taking gold sword damage if they hit spikes. It was worth the gamble because realistically, when you get the either of these items, like they both take a long time to get, and we had to kill them. I guess because we knew it was a crystal. I wasn't really even paying attention to the fact it's a crystal. But like we know one of them is a thing. See, the other item is in the spot. Probably about as fast as walking out. So yeah, the room that I said is really long and slow and I don't want to go in there is the room that has the last item. Yeah, the statue button room. If you have red cane, because randomizer, you might have red cane for this room. And then you just, you come and you drop a block on it, and you proceed with your life. Sanctuary Heart. What do I want to do? We have the flippers. It's probably gonna be Zora. It's gonna be Zora because I said, oh look, I need to go to Aga. So now it's definitely gonna be Zora. By waiting until the flippers, though, it means I'm not out of logic, and I can get another handful of items. This, I think, usually needs mirrors if you want to do it out of logic. So nothing's here. That's fine. I'm gonna Zora check. So by having the flippers, it means I can also... Right, there's one item here in the normal game. There's a piece of a heart. And with the flippers, you need the flippers to get it. And that is my mitts. So I needed... Where were the flippers? I needed the flippers to get the mitts, which is the rest of my Dark World access. Because I need the hammer is the other thing that would be useful. So now I can get into Mire. I can't complete Mire. I can do ice. No, I can't do ice because I don't have the hammer. Mire's probably the best place to go, though. I swear I'm pushing up on this controller and this D-pad is not happy. So going to Mire means I can open the shed. I can open Mire itself for sure. I can do everything in Mire except actually finish it. Normally you duck over to the right to see what medallion opens it, but we have them all. Well, there's my hammer, so there you go. We needed... do we want to go in here? Pearl Rock is the other pendant. There's only 2 items in here, actually. Ice needs hammer. Oh, I really don't want to... Oh, that's gross. That's gross. Hey, Mr. Cab, why are you saying that's gross? Okay, so Ice Palace needs the hammer. It needs the hammer if you want to come up and around to get to where the traditional big key chest is. If you're not using Icebreaker, by the way, I don't have a red cane, so I can't do Icebreaker, then you need the hammer to hit switches to get to that room. Even then, you need the hammer to get all the way to the bottom. Cold Stairs room is blocked by a hammer peg. One of those like bobbing mole Dark World dungeon things. I can get into Hype Cave. So what is left to actually beat the video game? I do have 5-6. That's very interesting. We're just going to label that 5-6. I don't know which crystal is 5-6, but one of them was 5-6. One of the items that's in here. So we can't do the clip, so we are going to, well, not. Which means we have to do this the old-fashioned way with bomb jump. He's gonna grab the money, but I really need to not get hit. 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 It's too high. It's a hard one. The vanilla game, you have to do that. Then we can talk about my favorite thing to talk about: glitches allowed and no major glitches, depending on whether you're playing the vanilla game or randomizer. Now, logically, hook shot comes into play here. Like, logically, first of all, logically, you don't do bomb jump. The hammer jump is a trickier one. We don't have a big key. See, there's right here. This is why hammer is required to beat ice. Yeah, there's a couple of chests. Obviously, there have to be for me to have gotten to here. So that will crack the shell. We're not chancing that anymore. Yes, there's a whole pile of stuff that's still in here. And we don't have a hammer, so... Well, we don't have a mirror, so we must save and quit out of there. There's no other way. The only other thing to do would be to go back in. There are 7 easy-to-get items. Eight easy-to-get items. The so-called hype cave. Red cane? Red cane? Red cane? Red rupee? Red heart? I don't need those, they're worthless. Hype cave can be really good, obviously. There's 5 things to get in it. It can be, you know, completely meh. There are 9 easy-to-get items. I should have gotten this when I was first at the village, and I forgot. You can go down without the mitts. You just can't go up. So, like, it is a certain number of digs, and you'll get it. And I think it's the same number of digs per seed to make sure that, again, right, everybody wastes the same amount of time. There's all the things that we can do. I forget if I can bring the blacksmith with me. Item dashing is a J-cart 1.0 specifically thing. Won't work on the US. US version is 1.1. There is a Japanese 1.2 where they patched it. But the problem is every time I do that, right, I'm wasting a good like 5 seconds of going picking that up, which doesn't sound like a lot. But then when you lose the race by 2 minutes, that's because you picked up 5 pieces of a heart that you didn't need. The items I was saying that are easy to get are the pyramid items. I'm going to go back and get them. So at this point we know Desert, Mire. Actually, yes, we can finish Pod, but Pod was a pendant. We don't need to go into Pod unless we think we need the item out of it. We want the mirror for Swamp. We want the red cane for the eyeball. Hi. We are going to sunny Misery Mire. We know it's sunny. We opened up the temple. Now I'm mad because that would have made ice a lot easier to do. Now what we're still missing is the mirror. We need the mirror to get into the swamp. The mirror will also get us into desert, so mirror is actually really good for us if we can find the damn thing. See, Meyer also looks very different if you're doing it in a randomizer compared to doing it traditionally. Is the mirror go? I'm like trying to think, what else do I actually need? Don't answer that question. If I get the mirror and I proceed to... I have the flippers, I have the hook shot. I can do everything. I have the boots, obviously. So if I get the mirror, then the only thing I'm missing... Yeah, I need to go into Gans Tower. Yeah, that's it. Mirrors go. Ow. The block is moving, it has no hitbox to block the fire. That's what's going on there. That's a trick that's used in a couple of spots in the run. Not usually with fire rods, it's usually with hook shot. So the eyeball has the second item. Oh, okay, no. There's still some room. Honestly, at this point, the worry is that the yeah. So there's a shutter door on the right. That has to be the big key, because I have to be able to open the big chest. I mean, I don't have to. Well, no, I have to, because the only other item that I could open without the big chest is the boss, which is also blocked by the big key. And I guess that has to be a key for logic. Feels somewhat strange that every boss so far has had an item. I think they've all had items. The moth didn't have an item. Okay, I feel better now. So there's a trick in this next room. This works in all versions and it's perfectly legal. It's just a trick. Dash, look left, trigger the hook shot. That is especially useful if you have to do Mire in the basement in the dark. Doing Mire basement in the dark is painful. Now, the eye itself, we have the cape. That makes it kind of interesting. Dang. So I think there's a thing where as long as you're like swinging, mashing B and swinging the sword. Really make sure you're on the bow. Don't accidentally use the mirror. I know I don't have the mirror. I'm saying it anyway. That's interesting. That gets us into desert. We still need the mirror to get to swamp, but that does get us into desert without the mirror. That also gets us ether on top of the mountain. But realistically, we are going to desert first because it's a dungeon we can clear. So we want the big key. We want the items as well. Desert's a weird one all the time. Because there's only 2 items you can get to without any of the keys. So one of them is going to be one of the keys. So yeah, now we know the big chest is going to have... Well, one of these... This where the big chest is going to be the small key. Vanilla. I mean, they can only go to so many places, so saying... It's like when a vanilla has a 1 in 3 chance of happening, it's like, who cares? It's a map. Now we'll go over there. We have to know what it is. The trick is mirror is the only useful item at this point. Mirror, if you ask me, mirror is in Hera. Because it ain't in desert. So, Power Bomb is still probably the easiest thing because it's 2 items that we'll get fast. The problem with climbing Death Mountain is what are we going to get? What's the desert ledge item? Like that realization, wait, I haven't checked this. I mean, we take armor upgrades. Still nobody who's actually finished this mess yet. Grab that fairy now because that solves... That fairy solves a heart refill problem later, potentially. Let me grab this magic quickly. I'm not even worried about the refill. I'm worried about this. What a strange fight. That's why I wasn't firing any more fireballs off. I was out. So the mirror could be in Hera. The mirror could be in Turtle Rock. Mirror could be in the Pyramid. Mirror could be on Dark Death Mountain. In a variety of places. Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny Cave, Spike Cave. It could be on Ether. That's one of the few other spots available. The Ether tablet itself. This is either mirror and we're going to swamp, or it's not and we're saving and quitting and going up the mountain. So your potential gamble here is to go straight to Dark Death Mountain, crack open Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave, because that's a combined 7 items, compared to Hera, which is 2 items, 3 if the green pendant pans out. I suppose the 4th item involved in this. Let's double check. I don't have mirror, right? This is the other one. This is obviously very fast to check, so we're checking it. What are we having for a snack? Not helpful. I need a blue potion. Show me mirror. Can't make boomerang behind. Good, good. Means we can proceed this way. We really don't want the last item to be in the basement. Which means the mirror's in the basement. One, two. It's in the basement! Well, actually, no. I don't know if this is one of the randomizers where sometimes they make it so that if the only thing an item does is be behind a key door, it is potentially locked behind itself. Are you kidding me? It's like such a low chance of that happening. Now I'm starting to think the mirror is definitely a turtle rock. Let's go. Go mode swamp is kind of nice. You don't have to worry about going to the left side at all. The problem now is all the garbage that we did along the way to get to this point. There's a little bit of like... Well, we didn't do too much without the hammer. The biggest thing we did was Ice Palace without the red cane, but we also did not try to like do a ton in there. Two people have finished within 23 seconds of each other. So we don't need anything. We need the keys. We don't need anything. Immediately need something. I don't have the timing down on that, and I wish I did. That was... Controller, please. So when they first figured out Specky Clip there... And they were like... yeah. I will never get over the fact that they were so up in arms about, really in all directions, about the icebreaker clip. Grab one. The reason to open chests at this point is where are the silver arrows? And so, like, if there's an item in front of you, you'll probably get it. Because if you can get the silver arrows, Suddenly the Ganon fight is free. Too slow. Let's see if we can get him. We didn't get him. My friends, there are 23 chests inside of Ganon's tower. I believe 20 of them are even in the basement. One of them holds the big key. We have the mirror now, so by saving and quitting the Dark World, we respawn in the Dark World. Yo, Dry's doing better. That is a good thing. That's a really good thing. I'm glad they got that worked out. We're going to specifically attempt to see if we can get the arrows. Open a couple of extra chests along the way. Well, if we win by 1 heart, we know where that heart came from. Hookshot Cave would be the other place to go. Show me number 5! It didn't work. The single arrow. I have no idea what the count is up to. Alright. You want to talk about rooms you never go to in vanilla? I mean, the thing is, we have to see if there's one chest before we get there. Alright, welcome to Randomizer Room. Wow. So if you're holding something, then the magic doesn't drain for some reason. So it's in this room. It's out of places to be. And now we're here, so what else is here? Not the arrows. We've cleaned out the tower. That was almost a disaster. It's weird that there's Igors in this room. Cannonball Z. Nice. I don't think I've hit this one at all yet. Messaging me. Ten arrows. This idiot. The triple. Yo. light rope. It's been a while since we have to get this kill. Soon. There it is. Man, somebody, we're gonna finish within a minute of somebody. Maybe not if this fanfare keeps going, honestly. Ninth out of a bunch. It's at least 15. I believe by ladder race rules, at least the old ladder. I think it's just a randomizer thing in general. You show your item collection totals. Excuse me. Trying to remember what I needed in the Spike Vegeta seed. I'm pretty sure I already had Mirror in it. I needed Ice Rod to beat Turtle Rock, which does not help me complete the goal. I need another small key to Gan's Tower. I need the Swamp Small, which I still don't have, and I need Ether to enter Mire, which I still don't have. Nice. Well, we did it.